Here's our corner here on the southeast,
Okay.
but the correlation going north here, he doesn't give enough dimensions to be able to come up with that.
Well, yeah, that gives them smart stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So,
That's me.
Hey, I don't know if you guys have the thing muted or not. I don't know if you started, but the microphone is still muted.
Oh,
for
I
the
know.
Guest.
We
Okay,
are about
just
to
making sure.
start very shortly. I appreciate it. Just, we'll be calling the meeting to order in just a moment.
There's the celebration.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Donna had her hand up too, probably for the same question.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for your patience. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. The Monroe County Surveyor Review Board for June 18th, 2024. It's 4:03. With that, I'll quickly say that there is a plan commission meeting at 5:30. So I will be shutting the meeting down around 5:15 at the latest. Not sure if either of you have anything on the agenda, but it's a pretty lengthy meeting. So if so, I hope you're up first. With that, we're looking at approval of the agenda. All right. I'll indicate that we have Eric Deckard and Rachel Ozer here, and there's a quorum, and we have no board members online, so we can do a voice vote, and I will just do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Motion is approved, and the agenda is approved. So we'll move to approval of the minutes from April 16th. I'll slowly scroll through this kind of generally for the public, but if you need time, please go ahead. If you're able to look at it in advance, I would be looking for a motion whenever the board is ready.
Motion to approve the minutes of April 15th.
Yep. All right, we have a motion and a second, and I will do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion pass. We will move to new business, office update. Really no office update. I know we talked about having one, and I kind of said I didn't really have one, except for potentially just indicating that I do intend to reach out for another round of service agreements. As that fund is able to support it, my goal is to spend it down. With that said, it looks like we are getting a bit less of revenue coming in through our to our perpetuation fund. So hopefully it's just an off year. I've actually never seen the projections this low. But you know, that might be due to interest rate and other things. Just wanted to indicate that another round is going to be something we'll do, but we'll continue to evaluate that to make sure we have a good, healthy balance in our corner fund at all times. And also just one other point to that is it does support our personnel. So that is the first priority is to make sure that it's a sustainable budget to support the personnel. With that, I had no other office updates. I'll check to see if Donna had her hand up or anything. No. All right. Moving on. We got certification of corners. This just due to kind of a short delay of getting payment to Mr. Deckard for corner perpetuation projects. We brought another in-house project to you that Mr. Shepherd and Jason and now Ethan have been kind of out helping on the field. I don't know if Ethan was on this at all. And if you're not aware of, Ethan is our new part-time. He can help us 1 day a week, but it's really nice because Jason has a lot of other administrative duties in the office. So like just the 1 day a week is pretty helpful. If we ever lose him and you guys know of like someone, up and coming that needs just a part-time job, please recommend them to check out the surveyor's office. I would even be kind of very considering like summer employment for folks still at the high school level. And, so I think they get a good, well-rounded education and experience. Eventually, maybe move into inquiring or move into the profession. Okay, with that said, I'll just jump into it. Do you have a copy of the survey? And and it's to the board's discretion, but I was going to recommend that we kind of take the same approach that we did last time. And that was just kind of let Mike kind of move forward, bring attention to particular corners, and then, obviously address questions as they're brought up and just kind of continue to move in that kind of flow of things. Does that sound reasonable?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, with that, then Mike, it's all yours. And just if you could indicate the section corner name so I can try to bring it up quickly for the public as we're jumping around.
Actually, I think I'll start a little out of order. Let's start there at BBL M21. It's the section corner coming to 27, 28, 33, 34.
Can you say what number again?
It's M21, lowercase m21. These form section.
Hang on 1 second. I think I'm sharing my PDF document versus my screen. So it's not pulling up other things. So stop share, start share, share screen. Okay.
Are we looking at the tie sheets too, or just looking at the survey file? Look at the tie sheet.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Combined that way.
I don't know. If it's trying to-
I could have started in order, but this all kind of, the establishment of this one kind of depends on everything starting here, so
We're looking at corner
M21.
M20. Thank you.
So it's just a boundary bar. No idea who said it. And used, actually, all the way called for a 5/8 inch rebar, 1.6 feet below ground. He found a 1/2 inch rebar, 0.7 feet below ground. Mike Mundy also used a rebar. By all appearance, this is the same location. City, it's just out in the middle of nothing, no real occupation lines other than there is a field division east to west. East is a patch of property in the state bought and letting grow up west of the property. But it seems to fit. Holloway had a big survey of a 1.5 sections. It seemed to fit pretty well with it. Basically, I was any other ideas. I think it's the most reliable evidence we have of that.
There's some snow on the ground and I guess the dirt is real difficult to dig into.
Oh, but here's one of the first ones we did here, so our references aren't as good as they are today. If we were doing it all over again today, we'd probably put a couple of bar lights down.
So
We did.
on With respect to the hallway rebar, do you recall, did you have another mine that you was comparing it to that you thought that it might be fitting with or?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I had another one on the Holloway survey. I had another one on the Monday survey to the south. And we were a little different, like a couple feet, 1.5, 2 feet as I remember, but yeah, I did have a check in and a comparison to know that I was in the right ballpark.
I mean, I'd want to follow the surveys. And I guess just. This is more for the teams meeting and any one more thing is I got the theory of location there. That kind of goes into some of,
Could pull up
findings.
that. You could pull up that Monday survey if you wanted to check that distance. I know it's something I looked at. It was a little different. So much that I was like, no, we don't have the right thing.
Monday said it was the same one we had it too.
Yeah, Monday,
So he might have been tied into something else.
he might have been, yeah. And Monday obviously wouldn't have had GPS. It would have been literally shooting across the river. Either you probably met Mike Monday. I know he used to sack lads. He used to tell me about sacking lads.
Yeah, actually, Mike used to work for my granddad.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was an interesting fella. I ran into him on a job, I think, one time.
It's always interesting, the way you use astronomical observation, so he's always out there taking sunshots and knowing how to do that.
Yeah.
He was one of the only ones around here that was actually doing that.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I wouldn't know that.
so I have a survey up. If there's any area you want.
Yeah, just what did, I didn't bring my calculator with me, but
Okay.
Are you looking at the total distance?
yeah.
He was able to do that.
Could you just type it in and have it fit it out?
1333.06, so it was a proportion.
With the total?
split.
Yeah, if you're looking on the west side, from M25 all the way up. Like Texas.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Should have brought my calculator, didn't think about
We had to do those.
You would rather?
that. Yeah, let me just grab the calculator.
Yeah.
I understand.
I only did it once, in college, but after that, the day that, so I did a lot of great neighborhoods.
Not the least bit concerned about that.
No.
Yeah. But he's grabbing his calculator, so. Do some math.
So it's such a puny rebar for a county corner.
Is it?
I mean, come on now, give something.
It's still there. There are some new Harrison monuments out there. Rebar lights. I kind of like the survey that Mike Monday did here.
Like,
Oh, he did get the, yeah.
oh, easy to follow.
Well, he was
I've never really-
really in the area that he was doing that, that's really good.
But it's still good work too.
Still good work.
I mean,
in
it's
today's
easy to
comparison.
follow in a lot of surveys you see today too.
Yep.
So we got
I like
50,
the numbers.
5328.18. See what he had.
Yeah, I'll tell you. 1332.59 and then 1332.59 and then 2665.17.
We were 2.17 feet different numbers.
As you left the room, the board indicated that they were comfortable with this, but we were going to wait to
Yeah.
see how it added.
I knew I had checked it. I knew it was.
Very good.
Yeah,
The
he-
report.
Sorry. Didn't mean to talk behind your back.
Oh.
On the county corner, it needs to be beat here.
Yeah, but it is 7/10 below ground, so it's safe down there.
And then redigging that and setting that would have been a heck of a
Yeah.
task in that frozen dirt. Where would you like to proceed to the next corner?
We'll just go on west, we'll go a quarter mile west there, which is the lowercase I-21. These are 31109.
It's got the 5/8 rebar.
That was a found stone, lowercase I-21 is. Really cool stone, has a D engraved on top of it, which fits with the county records, so 16th corner.
I-21?
Oh, it's capital I-21? Is that what you're saying?
Lower,
No, lowercase is the rebar. Might be capital.
Are you talking about the stone in between them?
yes.
L-
Oh, that's an L, yeah. Yeah,
It's not in, it doesn't have a tie sheet probably.
no, it doesn't, it is in the report, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the one that we added some information to the?
Well, I've always had it in the report. So, yeah. Yeah, I do the tie sheet primarily because it's Owen County. But I did kind of reference some trees, put in the report.
We kind of had a discussion in-house and I deferred to Mike as far as, not really needing to create a tie card since it is in Owen County, but I think we still need to have that discussion with our adjacent counties of what to do with this information, so they have it on their records as well.
Also,
We don't really do them, but we still kind of have a rule of thumb that you implemented. If it's a stone and it's called out, we'll perpetuate it. And
Tie card on it.
Tie card on it.
I think you're perpetuating it by putting it on the survey and tying it to other monuments.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
it is tied to 3 other monuments.
we just won't add it to our quota.
Right.
So, yeah, it was,
It doesn't.
yeah, it pretty much has to be the stone that was set in 1903 because it even has the D engraved on it. And the 1903 records indicated that it was set midway between the northeast corner and the north quarter corner. So I used it to establish the north quarter corner. It's that over there.
You did.
Of course, that's making the assumption that the rebar is really where the
Is that part of the
one was in 1903, and that's a big assumption.
Yes.
But I ended up having
packet, not individual?
So I use that to establish K-21. Which is the North Fork section.
I'm just indicating, I guess, on the screen to folks that may be trying to follow along what we're looking at here. Circling with my cursor. Sorry to jump in there, Mike.
So, and the other thing is we were fairly close to the original government survey measurements there. You can see the 374 versus 2379, so.
Yeah.
Feel like they're pretty good in there. The only thing I didn't like about that one is there was a big levee there. 40 feet wide levee. I would have felt better if it fell right on the top center of it and it fell kind of at the crest of the south hill. But whatever that's worth.
Oh, on the quarter corner that you said.
Yeah. It's one of those, I feel if you had heavy equipment in 3 days, there could still be a stone buried in that levee. But, who knows? And who knows if the levee was there when they did these or not? I think not.
Who knows how much it would cost?
Yeah. Or if you'd even would, I mean, we had a couple of hackberry witnesses did, and we found some big old hackberries, but that doesn't seem to go back that far. Seemed yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just make a couple comments as everyone's looking, is that, none of these monuments that we've looked at so far have ever been part of our official, record, and kind of, I guess, our more modern record. So we don't really have too much to go off of on some of these corners. I'll go ahead and scroll to the theory here of location. Again, it's kind of short because, we didn't have much to go off of.
There.
Is there any other maybe questions or thoughts from the board, or would you like to proceed? Sounds like you have.
Okay, the next one is a 32nd corner technically. Case I 21.5, it's in the report. We don't have a tie sheet for it. It's the first page of the report. Really nice stone, really well embedded in the ground. I had actually found it on a private survey prior, so I just never found the origin of it. I don't know. Now all the farmers are using it. It's a nice stone. Pretty much accepted for that 32nd corner, and then I used it to extend through, divide this up into, would be 4 equal parts. Thinking to establish the northwest corner section, which would be 569. And once again, we're pretty close to the original government notes, Peterson. To the length of that line,
Did you just move us to in Boston I-20?
21, yeah, let's say it's 920.
When you use this line there, so what, the sort of proportion of measure from
Yeah.
the calculated point, push
Yeah.
down through it, is that what you?
Right, I took the distance from here to here, and then, say I did that, but I made it all an equal. Took this, divided it by 3, and then added that third to this also. I guess that you would say, that way it's all 4 equal parts if you were to equal each one of them out. Because that's how this should have been established, or would have been established originally.
You do have it kind of said very nicely in your theory here.
Okay.
Theory. The rebar was set on the extension of the line from a rebar set at the north quarter corner of section 33, township 11 north, range 2 west, through a stone found at the parent historical used and accepted location of the southwest corner of the west half of the west half of the southwest quarter of the southwest quarter of section 28, township 11, range 2 west, also known as the northeast corner of the west half of the northwest quarter of the northwest quarter of section 33, township 11, range 2 west, and at a distance dividing said quarter section into equal parts. And that is very nicely said, but
Also, and I didn't really put in there, I do have a little, like I said, I found that one originally on a private job. I do have a little bit of the north, some fencing and stone. Made that look good also. Yeah, well, until you look at this next, until you look at this next line, then you're gonna be like, what?
It's got teeth in it, like.
Yeah.
what do you mean? That's not evident. Barely see.
So yeah, let's drop down to lowercase I-23. But there was a stone found there.
Oh, is this the one with the stone and then the rebar set?
Yeah.
Oh, that's,
And if you first look at the stone, and it's got a cross on it. Haven't used it, and I spent weeks saying that stone's not right, it was too far offline, between corners to the north and south. And then we got kind of curious, and it was like, there was a reference stone 9 lengths away, and rode around, and by God, that reference stone's there. And then we kind of realized the top of this pretty monument is actually, even though it looks from the top here, is actually laying about like that. Something major equipment has pushed it over. So if you hold the reference stone and come over west of distance, you end up where this rebar is set. And actually, about the base of this stone, if it was straight, it would be here. But it's massive. We didn't have the strength. And even if we hooked onto it with a log chain, I think we'd have probably broke it. So we set the rebar based on the reference stone. And like I say, it's basically the base of the stone too.
Yeah, and since you indicated, Mr. Enright, I was just bringing up the old pending, it was never certified, but in 1997, he was out there and located that, and Mr. Shepherd agreed with it, but as you can see that the leaning there is pretty significant, so setting that rebar at the base, I think was the right.
Now, as I put in the report, I totally don't think that's where it was in 18. So I didn't. Too far, but that's where it was reestablished in 1907. That's what everybody's telling you since. So I guess it kind of became. That's a really one. But when you look at that, and because this guy came from the south, he did not go north. That's where it was originally. At this point in the game, it's got over a century behind it, and like I say, it's a legal survey book. So.
I pulled up the theory, I'm not gonna read it, it's a bit longer.
Yeah, I went into pretty good detail.
But yeah, he went into very good detail and explanation of what's going on out there. I'll bring up the survey for the public as we're kind of sitting here and give the board a minute to.
I don't even have any,
Pretty big deal.
and the books didn't say it engraved or anything, but step back in the sunlight, looked, it was like, we don't have that clear W.
Very nice.
Didn't even, wasn't even looking for it. It just stepped back and I was like, wait a minute.
We had a technical hiccup. I was gonna see if we're still being able to have audio. The camera went down for a second and froze. So is there anyone that can indicate that they can hear us?
So it's interesting. Stone looks like it's like something that you would find over in Elm County, how rounded it is. And
It's huge. I mean, it's like 4 feet long. It's a pit for some hill. So I don't even know that it's necessarily the stuff
Are
that was saying.
we still being heard?
Who knows? We tried to search around to see if there was maybe a smaller one. They said that we could.
Oh, this is muted. The TV's muted. Okay, we can be heard. The TV's muted. Thank you, Donna. So all the recording, we just can't hear from anyone, which is fine.
Do you want to?
Won't create feedback, will it?
No, I'm muted. Or here, I could do it over here, sorry. There we go. There we are. We'll be able to hear now. It seems like we were able to catch all the audio, which is important, so we can continue to proceed. Sorry, everyone, for that. Just want to make sure we're getting caught on camera. Were we still looking at, I-23? Was there anything from the board, or would you like Mr. Shepherd to proceed? I'll say we're doing pretty good on time, so no rush.
Um, The only thing was that I was seeing here is some of them was labeled BBL versus BB block, BL. I'm assuming that that's the way that Owen
Yeah.
County is referenced to that.
No,
System.
yeah, and we renamed them, so essentially the longer name means 11 more.
But this one on here, it says B and it says B, L. It's just. This is being BL and that is B.
Oh, okay. I thought I maybe mentioned that, but maybe I didn't. I think I saw it, but forgot to mention it.
Should this even be a B, being BL or should it be a?
It's BEAN on our system.
And are we still at,
Everything in 11 is BEAN on our system.
yeah, if it's 11 north, are we still looking at?
Yeah, it's our system and everything. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So this should say B,
Yeah,
being BL.
right here on the red box.
Oh.
We just forgot to
So
carry it
that's
over.
the
BL,
code, not
yeah.
right.
Correct. Yes. Nice catch, Eric. I think I saw it, but then I think I got into the sketch and how many witnesses you guys had up.
Got a lot of stuff, because for a long time I was trying to disprove it. Well, because I had deeds, they called for about 3 different stones in that area on the grade corner, and they were all. Figured out, no, it's where it was put in there.
You're making a note of that, so when we get to motion, will you provide
Yes.
that?
$35 for witness stone too.
Um,
It's got a box with a little X, but then the minus.
You drop to the next page.
Yeah, was the one I was reviewing a while ago and thought was wrong, and I realized it was down. That is a stone, actually kind of another stone pillar that looks a lot like that stone. And apparently when Kevin was in there, it was standing upright and something pushed over, dislodged. That is what the deeds refer to as the grade corner, I believe. So it was another cornerstone. It was also there when Dorman's survey actually noted it being 3 feet higher. Somebody
So there's a lot of confusion around this.
there's a lot of confusion around that corner. Somebody decided, oh, you should see the GIS, all the little pieces here. And it's also confusion because the river made a big loop in here originally and then changed. It's actually a confusion between the counties. There's like 3 parcels in here that Owen County's taxing, but then we have some parcels north of the river that we're taxing. So, yeah, this is the fire.
There was some people I recall that was getting double taxed, were they from Monroe and Owen County? I think
There was
Papa
something
Pat
going-
over there about.
In Owen County, so I talked to somebody too about it. There was a big mess a few years ago. Yeah.
Wouldn't that suck to be that late?
We're trying to fix the problem either. Well, would we like to move on
Yeah,
to
go
another
ahead.
corner?
No.
Okay, lowercase I-25, the Southwest Farm section, I could see. There'll be more discussion on it. Of course, because it's based, solely on monuments to the west, record offset. After I looked at all this, it probably in hindsight would have been better to file 32 before 33, but this is what we got.
Are we on down here?
Southwest one say I-25, yeah. So the monument's not, it's like we said, at Harrison Monument at Cropfield. Said that the record offset from half-inch rebar, that's the one that's been a confuser. I found it, I found the half-inch rebar. And, oops, perpetuation survey for the Owen County. Years ago, 2000, or no, 2003 maybe. Just wind came in and I had noted that stone laying on the ground south of it. Just wind came in, reburied that stone, said, no, this is the right corner. It's hard to say what's right. Rachel actually came back in, did a survey. Working for somebody here. And you re-upheld the rebar. So you had conflicting surveys, mine and Jesse's. I used the rebar, he used the stone, but you, in your report, said that the rebar matched, you ran a lot of occupation lines to these. Said that the rebar matches those occupations better than the stone. So I reverted to my original and filled the rebar was. I think the rebar was set by Farkas.
And you had the stone, you're saying? When you held the rebar initially, you had the stone, but it was laying on the ground.
Yeah, I think I addressed all that. Yeah, I visited that area twice because I went back for a private job after my. Yeah, I found the rebar original on 52404. That time I noted the rebar to be at the north edge of Newman and Code abandoned road bed, not as visible today as 20 years ago. I talked to a landowner. He told us that father had always told her the section's cornered about 20 feet south of that rebar. Vicinity she showed us was the approximate south edge of a parent cut old road bed. I observed a 1.1 by 1.3 by 0.6 foot stone laying flat, 0.3 foot below ground, south fence. This appears to be the stone cited by Jess. It's found disturbed and reset. I think he actually reset it north of where I found it. Kevin then went out and referenced the stone in 06. I revisited in 06 while doing a private survey. My helper at the time, still my helper on the road, Earl Waggle, he had a building houses and he looked at it with the foundations. Has some grooves in it and it kind of matches some foundation stones around the barn right there beside it also. And you, and I'm glad you did, came back in and did a survey and you re-upheld the rebar and you said it matched deeds and occupation lines in the area. Of course, that could be because the occupation lines were built on our Marcus.
But that was I think that was a big survey, wasn't it? Based on a big survey that Farkas had done.
Yeah.
They were splitting. They never did it. They were gonna be splitting land up.
I think they did it, and yeah, a different surveyor basically took your survey.
It was like years later. And
Yeah.
it was
Martin,
one of the-
sliding scales.
A lot of errors.
So that's definitely, and it's, I got some uncertainty associated with it.
What was built off of the dome, just out of curiosity, or on the Justice survey?
Just did some work to the south, but really it wouldn't affect anything east-west because the rebar and the south are basically on the same, basically have the same easting.
Are you looking at sections to the south too?
Oh, yeah,
On this?
we're deep into that.
So you're looking at a bigger picture than
Oh, yeah.
anybody has been,
Oh, yeah.
and you're still feeling it's too far.
Yeah, I don't know, I get what maybe tell me a secret of it.
Like,
Yeah. Did some inverses on the whole township line, it might be a line either.
when you talked about the stone, you mentioned that it had grooves in it. But I've run on the stones before that had grooves at the top of them.
This was on the sides.
So
Screws on the side, like it would fit up against a steel beam or something. That's why my helper said it looked like a foundation stone hammer. Foundation.
you know, when I say that you see this corrugated roofing before, you know, it just kind of ripples. In Green County, I've had stones that have these ripples, and I'm like, what are these stones? But this is what was being held in Green County.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is our best. I think this is our best solution.
So what's the, record?
Yeah, I said that the record offset distance extended through. And I said, maybe we should have done 32 first a railroad spike and a tree root, and that railroad spike just for information is based on record offset from an actual stone, so. Railroad spike and the tree root, I'm really confident with. Right in my opinion, so.
Yeah, Mike wanted to add that call just because.
Yeah.
It's the bearing at first, the first survey. And also I wanted to indicate a thank you for adding, a lot of information to the theory of location, because a lot of the ways that Mike held the beam blossom third case I-25 was based off of the beam blossom I-01. So in the theory, he talks about that. So it kind of closes a loop. So if someone's using just the tie sheet, they know to kind of go back to that and explore that information and evidence as well.
Stone was originally found by Jess, that it was, or by you, but it was not planted, it was on the
Yeah, it
ground.
was landslide.
And Jess comes back, and he finds it unplanted, but then resets it.
Yeah.
And now, the location of the stone prior to Jesse resetting it, where was that with respect to this Harrison monument that you?
Well, the Harrison monument is east, so we're actually dealing with I-1. We have
Oh,
Kevin's.
And we don't have any questions for item one, right? We're not doing that section
so-
right now.
All right, so
We have Kevin, no, we wouldn't have that on.
But I think you
30.
said, I think you maybe put that.
I probably did, actually.
so
In the theory, I think.
it doesn't change, but what was the style?
Yeah, it was substantial. Well, when I found it,
said 20.
yeah, I said it was about 20 and a half feet. Well, it's on the, where it is now is on the, we show it.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. or-
The rebar,
Oh, because again, I'm
But not the stone.
not looking at the 32 tie corner. If I was, it would be there. Can you go to that? Is that available?
and
We wrote it up. It's,
yeah, we can look at the raw.
yeah.
There was
And it'll show you exactly where that stone is in relation to the rebar.
beam blossom.
But you say it doesn't really. East-west position. The Harrison.
It would be strictly north. Yeah, it would be strictly. That would tell you too.
So there's this,
But I should have a,
we're looking at, could be under draw, no.
yeah, forms. Pending that bottom one right
You
there.
like the rebar back in.
I don't trust myself necessarily, but I mean,
But
That's fine.
that's kind
I
of.
did like it.
Is it the bottom one or?
And I knew it.
Yeah, you're on the right one.
Give my.
Go down to references. and
Cassidy was out there too and started.
Oh, okay.
There we go. It should tell us. Here we go. So it's, yeah.
I'm just trying to get my brain wrapped around it.
So yeah, it's now just 14.6 feet from the pan. When I found it, it was 20 feet from the pan.
I mean, Jess probably said it based on what, fence line? Because you mentioned that there was a fence line.
They're both in the fence line, but there's an old road bed. I think just moved it to match that old bed. Because that's what the landowner was talking about.
Should we read Justin's report? That make you feel better?
Well,
I already agreed with the rebar, so I feel.
Your decision that's been made.
It was made with a lot more information than we get at this meeting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was just overwhelmed with the information and I was trying to get my brain around the sequence there.
I'm looking for the just
Well,
plan.
the surveyors all looking at this, why there's variation here, so I understand where you're coming from, Mike, just so that you know that.
Yeah.
And what doubting what you're doing, I'm just trying to wrap my brain around it.
And I usually like to agree with Justin.
We referenced the just plan.
Yeah, if you'll go to surveys on that, I'm almost positive I've got that
There's a table in there with all the surveys.
Yeah, pen down.
On this one?
I would if I did. I could. Now I'm not totally done with that time sheet, so.
No, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know.
Yeah, not many
Survey.
surveys on there. Well, yeah, it's not.
It's not in the table, but it might be the theory.
Public board,
Yeah, it should be.
because he's not one to sit on his hands.
Or do you have that sheet? Oh, I see what you're saying, because I copied that
Yeah,
theory.
you copied. I was kind of skimming through it real quick for the just plan. Other.
No, except I didn't put his RSID in. Certainly will when I go back and finish that type there.
That's what I said.
Maybe next.
Should we?
Friend's favorite.
But anyway, well, he just, I mean, all he said was he found this turf stone and reset it.
They roll with that.
We can pull the survey up. We just have to kind of scroll through it. That's the pleasure of the board.
It's called Powell subdivision.
The-
I'll tell you what, you could go to your utilities, type in that corner, and it would probably pop up your survey, what do you call those, the little red
Yeah, access.
access. Yeah, if you went to that, it'd probably pull it up real quick.
Oh, okay, yeah. The survey database. Time to lock me out of this thing. Doesn't trust me. Sorry. And then, what's the section?
BBL I01, if you type that in, yeah.
BBL. Iowa. Fair unknown, Vargas. Shepherd.
It went.
Yeah, there we go. It came after, yeah, that's it. Powell.
Here we go.
Mine.
Do you know,
Go to the Darling.
There we go.
He lettered.
Yeah, it'll be that top one there.
A.
A.
Go to.
I don't know anything about his survey forward. I have no idea.
It's a 309.37 and north south.
Yeah, he's saying it fits with a railroad spike, but he talks about a survey 4 that was prepared by the landowner. Anything about that survey?
He doesn't have survey 4 listed on, is it on the first page?
I think so. I think, like I said, I think it says it was prepared by the landowner.
You go to page
Next year.
They're gonna pay one, survey four. Survey four.
Or page, the other page.
There you
And
go.
then above the drawing.
Northeast quadrant of that page, it'll say what survey for. I know I looked at that and I never was able to find it. John Martin. Did the landowner literally do a survey himself?
I've never heard the name John Martin.
Well, that's the
The
name
Martins were the family that I don't know that's.
to the east, right?
Yeah.
I guess he's literally saying this guy did his own survey and he
And he measured to the stone
put some
on that survey. Or
measure
was it survey 5 that he said measured to the stone?
from the center of the road. Okay.
Well, I mean, if it was a property corner, I would say that the landowner would be quite capable of saying, this is where I want the corner and plant a stone. But it being section corner like this, I don't think that that's. What's your thoughts on that? Richard?
I actually don't, I don't, still don't quite get it. I feel like they need to see reference plan numbers. Written description of pay again. Because I can't remember what he was saying about survey 5. I'm just feeling a little.
Go to five, go back to eight again. Rachel.
Survey 5 is where we think this half inch rebar was set actually.
That's the part.
Marcus, yeah, and it's very confusing and hard to read. It's just a bunch of lines, distances. How is he saying there's only a 2.5 foot discrepancy to the south from using the stone or the rebar when they're 14 feet apart? I don't know. That's,
What you said about the 2 feet line?
he says, they're under item B. Spike is presumed to have been set for survey 5, assuming the spike and the half inch rebar were set at the same time. The 2.5 foot discrepancy results from using the found stone instead of the rebar, but it'd only be 2.5 feet when they're 14 feet apart. I don't quite get that.
It'd be because they're in the east-west direction. Is that what he would be referring to? Because I see what you're saying.
It could be maybe referring to the east-west direction.
Because it looks to me like the 14.4 feet from the stone is pretty much all north south.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Still doesn't affect our east-west.
no,
East-west, I think is solid.
right.
I know Rachel touched on it, but maybe you want to expand since you are working kind of with multiple sections and kind of looking at a larger kind of
It's
takeaway of this.
It's a tough call. I mean, like I say, you could argue either and either. There's definitely been a lot built off of the half inch rebar. A lot more than. So,
And I guess,
Can we go back to Judd again? The flat part, the drawing,
yes.
yeah, okay, so his survey, that's gotta be the 2.5 feet because he was only using this. It just doesn't make that much of a difference in his survey because the stone and the rebar are basically in line. So,
It's just a lead-in for.
yeah, so it's not, when you're seeing that fence, and maybe that fence is gonna be 2.5 feet more on line one way or the other. Or not, it would be 2.5 feet by the time you get down there. But then I'm just thinking, if that's a consideration, that which it probably was for me, looking at the rebar of Marcus has done all the surveying based on this rebar. And Jess's survey isn't really. That stone is not really very important to the boundary that he established. So holding the monument with more history, more built on it. Possession line, like you said, I said possession lines, but you also mentioned. But they were probably based on.
Based on the
first
Marcus
place,
survey.
like
Yeah, true.
a circular
That's a
reasoning.
catch 22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I do give that weight, especially when stone was found disturbed. At least 6 feet different from where Jess ended up setting it based on
I
your
found
notes.
it the first time.
Where exactly was it? I do like the road, for sure, so,
I'm very noticing now, but when I was there in '04, it was.
but the road could have been based on. Is it a long roadbed or is it just a little,
Right now, you
Like
can barely even say it is a road, cut in the ground. It's got no east-west cut in the ground, but it doesn't really go anywhere because it's all crop field to the east. And to the west, it's turned into yards. It's really just that one little area that there's a depression.
I just wonder if it's like. It could have been just the driveway that was always meant to be on one side of the property.
And
Or are we saying like it going miles east and west?
I don't think so.
And so that it's not like a real
it's like-
important roadbed.
Um,
The LiDAR could help with that with,
And
it helps a lot with speed roadbeds. We can't see the drives.
It's amazing, if it's not, I
Uh,
love to, my guy said, I feel. It's loaded in, so, I mean, that's just.
I put it in,
That's an
it's in
area.
my data clicker now. It helps, thank you.
So. Going back to the stone, and was there anybody, what was the origin of the stone supposed to have been, Mike?
Oh, survey one that showed her.
What was it?
Yeah, actually, he.
Oh, bring back up the survey that we're looking at.
He referred to those illegal surveys, but I never saw one of them that actually said stone. Just said there was a corner there. I could presume stone, because usually when they say there's a corner, there was a stone, but I never found one that actually
So
said.
the other page, survey one.
Up on the plat, northeast corner of the plat.
Not track one, survey one.
Okay. There. Each corner of the plat says surveys, with looking at them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Over here. There we go.
I've found the Monroe County surveyors often just say the corner may, and don't, it's actually pretty rare for them to reference an actual stone.
Yeah.
And there's stones,
They just reference something and they take references to it, so
yeah, so
that's
to
the
the,
it was.
and then sometimes they specifically say a stake.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so then I'm like, okay,
What is the stake?
I guess everything else was stone. And these couple stakes.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the only one they bought and then you do finds. So really different from that one county guy who's always like, I marked it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it has like numbers. But the Monroe County guy never did that.
I will say another thing about that particular stone that's out there. Most every stone we've been finding in that area is like a cut limestone. That stone does not match the characteristics of cut limestones we've been finding in the area.
But I'd say most importantly is it wasn't planted.
That's right.
So we don't want to
Right.
be spread where it was.
Yeah,
If there's a road there, it could have been pushed to the side.
so,
We could have 14 feet of.
Oh, absolutely. I think I put that.
You did. Pretty close to the 15. I guess just in, thought of time and,
yeah, if you're in a time restraint, but
Well, that, but-
I'm actually good with this location here.
Is
that
there-
it got where he's planting it. I just was kind of curious on that stone, when you got a stone and a 1/2 inch rebar. But now knowing the whole picture of what happened there, I would lean towards what Mike's done, for sure.
right, and then I guess I'll just say something, that I think Kevin established this review board because he knew that there was gonna be some tough decisions to bring, 3 licensed, professionals, to the discussion to, kind kind of get into the details. It's very important. So, never want to make anyone feel rushed, even though I have a 5:30 meeting.
Nope.
And also that just, I guess I really wanted to, make the comment that we all know that we're going to have some pretty difficult decisions as we continue to move forward with trying to perpetuate out the county, with this type of standard. And, with that, I was going to then kind of defer to Mike if he wanted to move us along to any other corners before the board felt comfortable, determining if they want more time or, take action.
Are you saying if I take action, we go ahead and put that so far today and then back another week it's finished?
However, look, I mean, we still have about 15 minutes or so. We can kind of see how much more
The
tricky.
rest are gonna be pretty. That one, I think we can get through that.
Okay.
Okay, let's go east to, 825 and KO1. Explain that. Got a Nice concrete post and a three-way fence corner. Well, three of us have used it. Feel pretty good for it being the south quarter corner of 33. And nobody ever established the north quarter corner of, I think it's 40. Post has been used for both. I actually did a private survey where I traced the tract fence all the way down to the center section and I came right to that. Rachel, you did a report on it and said, yeah, there should have been an offset here, but there just wasn't. So we're taking that concrete post, not only for 33, which is pretty much a shoe in for 33. Also for the corner to the center, because that's what everybody used. Yeah,
Yep.
And K25 was previously tied off.
yeah.
And I think that whoever planted that pillar was very sure. That's why they was planting it.
We okay with proceeding to?
Yeah,
Okay, then our southeast corner, M25. It's a nice stone. Been held by everybody. I don't know if I ever, so you helped Rachel, but everybody, there for the.
And also it's on our official record.
Kevin tied it on with us, a couple of trees got pushed out since he was there, but
Yeah, actually, I think the whole time might have that photo. So go ahead. Do a side by side for us, which I thought was quite interesting. Yeah, there it
was
is.
aware of it. He'd actually pushed some of the trees out being preserved this time, because he knew that.
But the only thing that like makes me believe that this is the same location is the fact that that stone, you can totally tell that they're the same stones. But like, this is where the tornado came through and it just wiped out that whole area.
No, actually, that's not in the tornado.
Oh, that's not the tornado path? Okay.
No, I think the landowner took that one tree out. I think he told us he did. I don't know.
But it just looks vastly different, but that stone, you can totally tell it's the
The
same.
concrete post is in the tornado area. It's covered. But it went just a little north of this thing.
A little fun side by side.
They put a new fence along that ridge.
The Side is.
Yeah.
Telling you about. You see
Yeah.
those.
And I just got through
Yeah.
telling you they were all cut limestones in there. I mean, I should have said.
That's what I'm talking about. Do you think that's something natural?
I don't know.
Get that washboard look on the side of those. Interesting.
Not
maybe they think they're
yeah,
weird.
I've not seen too many like this.
No, it is pretty unique.
It looks like we,
Yeah, let's go up to M23. It's just a rebar set proportionally between the two town lines. I'm say about that, no occupation lines. It's in a flat river flood area.
it's not ever been on our official record. When I mean official record, I should say more modern record.
But incidentally, we tripped over a dormant pipe on the way to it about 400 feet north of it. find any records of why he said it, where he didn't. I mean, he didn't say it to be the corner, I'm sure. I guess he thought it was a line study.
And
Okay, so how about the center section?
Center section, yeah, that's.
Let's hear that.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So we have a 1/2 inch rebar, believed to be set by Farkas. And it matched occupation. We had some pretty big, all hackberry trees in the tree line. It was in line, and there's a real good field division line going north. Not really a fence, but a cable and definitely a crop line. Farkas said that that rebar was 907.5 feet from the center. He didn't say what was at the center, but we also had an Dorman survey who said that 907.5, and he broke it down in rods, which some okay, he got that from a really old date, 55 rods, by memory, just 907.5. So, felt like we basically had no better evidence than hold it at that 907.5 and extend it from here through here. And when we did that, hit the distance to the south. Yes, that should be in my theory of location, actually. It's not on the plan. But in my theory of location, we had distances from the original survey. There was a stone and 2 reference stones there originally. There's 8. But we ended up very close to record distance from the south and to the west by establishing it that way. I think that would be on my, yeah, I'm sure that's my recall. Yeah, it is. And 76. Yeah, incredibly close. So, yeah, I feel pretty good. Again, it's way offline between the north and south quarter corners, but it wasn't established by the correct procedures originally. This is where it was established originally. Came from the south, he had no clue where anything north of the river was.
we had fun yesterday discussing how we were going to identify the offset corner, and Mr. Shepherd sent us some language of how they do document putting on an offset. So at first I thought it was kind of confusing, but since that's kind of the proper procedure, it's going to be how we'll indicate them in the future. So if the monument is out in the water, we'll put an offset monument indicated, such as this. It looks a little busy, but I think it's all right. We're gonna bring it up to see what the board thought, but since
I went to Rule 12
Yeah.
and it says set an offset.
I've just never seen it called an offset, so I was kind of sitting there scratching my head.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we did. We set rebar here online between the concrete post 150 feet away. And then we set a couple rebar lines too, so you could shoot those and calculate one. So people would probably just calculate it based on this stuff.
That was all of them.
It covers it.
Rachel, I know you was taking notes on that diligently. We had a minute.
Yeah, I didn't think we were gonna get through all of them last time.
Yeah,
We did,
right.
but we got-
So we got, so you are you comfortable enough to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve. I'm gonna just call them bean blossom, but I'm referring to A and BL, 11 north to west, for all of these. Bean blossom, I-21, I-23, I-25, K-21, K-23, K-25, M-21, M-23, M-25 with the,
Condition.
condition, thank you, that, I-23 have a correction made to the red box in the monument record, just correct the typo in the label. Adding BL after the word.
I second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second, and with one condition. And I will go ahead and do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, I'll indicate that was a unanimous vote and motion passed. Thank you so much. All right. We will move to a public input, and I will look at the screen quickly to see if anyone from the public wishes to speak. And if so, please indicate by raising your virtual hand. Donna waved or wants to speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, so were there any corners that were tabled? Rachel went really fast.
No, everything was approved and we have one condition and
Okay,
that, were you able to catch the condition?
yes, about the red box with the typos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And seeing that there is no other member of the public on Teams or in the room, we'll come back to the board and we will adopt the next meeting date. Donna, do you have a tentative date for us?
Yes, I believe it was July 17th.
Nice, not on my birthday. I'd like that schedule.
Oh,
So-
sorry, I think it was July 16th.
Oh, all right.
Is that your birthday?
No, you're pretty close. 14th.
Okay, one more. We're trying to one more.
That might be on a Sunday, so.
No cake
Thank-
for you.
16.
16th, yeah. And as always, we'll reach out, make sure that the schedule seems to work with you. If we have to change it, we'll do the public notice and time and make sure that we have a quorum. So, thank you, Donna. All right, with that, we'll move to adjournment. So we are adjourned. Nice. You can shut us down, Elijah, whenever you want.
You guys.
Thank you.
You guys.
You go ahead.